and it was a ton of fun. Like that was really my first like full, I mean, it's kind of like jumping in the deep end of the pool, right? You get invited to go do this. You go out to headquarters. You get to see the massive facility they have, the way they run everything, get to meet a lot of the people behind the scenes. And I was just completely blown away. I thought in the last podcast we talked about it, I thought, you know, First Phorm, they're just a supplement company. You figure you go to a warehouse, they're just making supplements. And that was about as far from what I actually discovered when I got there. So that was pretty cool. And yeah, being a part of First Phorm Outdoors, it was just, I like the message that we have with First Phorm Outdoors. So that's why it was easy to get on board with it. It was easy to kind of like fall into that ecosystem and become a part of it.
What is going on? Hope you're having a fantastic start to the year 2024. Here for the next 2 weeks, every single day, you're going to get to hear a story from someone in the First Phorm Outdoors crew, everyone from the West Coast to the East Coast, north to south, everything in between, bass fishermen, professional bass fishermen, bird hunters, archers, rifle hunters, everything in between, guys, just outdoorsmen in general, outdoorsmen and women. I want you to understand why they have chosen First Phorm and First Phorm Outdoors as their company for supplementation, for nutrition, for workouts, and more, just an outstanding community, and why we want you to be a part of it. So not just from me, but from everyone in the crew, again, from all walks of life and everything outdoors that they really enjoy. You're going to find a story that you can relate with, if not more than one. And I hope you enjoy each one of these stories. Here we go. Let's kick off the new year right. And if you want to join us at First Phorm Outdoors on the Facebook group, the link is down below. If you have any questions about supplementation, from the protein sticks to the meat sticks, guys, those are my favorite snacks when we're out and about. Also, energy drinks, if that's your thing. We've got everything from post-workout shakes to, in the app that's less than $20 a month, guys, you get a one-on-one advisor. You get someone to help walk you through your nutrition, someone that will hop on live and not just give you a cookie cutter routine, but something to check in with you on a regular basis so you can accomplish your goals here in 2024. Let's get this started off right with the First Phorm Outdoors crew. Here we go. Hope you enjoy this conversation today and for the next 2 weeks. Let me know what you think. Have a great day. And of course, get out, live your life, and love it. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the RedBeard Outdoors podcast. We've got Jeff Cordero on today, and this is just part of our week of why First Phorm Outdoors. I want to give a brief overview for people that didn't watch the episode with Jeff or our camp episode that's going to be coming out by the time this comes out. Jeff he's blown my mind with NASCAR, and I can't stress that enough. Like, I used to think and pick on people for lots of left turns, but Jeff throws tires, changes tires, does a bunch of stuff with NASCAR, and is an elite athlete. I mean, it's really what it boils down to. And then Jeff is someone who wasn't part of necessarily the First Phorm and First Phorm Outdoors ecosystem. He obviously, again, an athlete, worked out consistently, focused on his nutrition, and loves shooting bows and getting in the outdoors and hunting and everything else that goes along with First Phorm Outdoors, just not under the First Phorm Outdoors umbrella. And then Jeff participated in the November Knockdown Challenge the first year and ended up going out to headquarters and winning the first pro staff position, the first official First Phorm Outdoors pro staff position. Yeah. So that's a very brief overview. I'd recommend going back and checking out the episode I did with Jeff, as he goes into a lot more detail on that. And also will blow your mind on tire changing in NASCAR and why it's not just a bunch of left turns. But with that intro, I might have stole your thunder here, but Jeff, who are you for people that don't know who you are?
Well, you're good, man. I guess this makes me a 3-time podcast guest. Is that the most? That's got to be up there.
I want to say it's Hacks and Hunt. So Braxton, I think, has been on 3 times, but you'd be the only other one. Yep.
All right, we'll do another one next week, and we'll get 4.
Yeah.
No,
he's not a competitor at all, guys.
Not at all. Jonathan explained it really well. My name is Jeff Cordero. Full-time job, I'm a tire changer in NASCAR for the 24 team of William Byron and Hendrick Motorsports. I've done that now for 14 seasons, not particularly with that team, but I've been in the industry for 14 years. And that is, I guess that's like what I do, right? So that's why I trained. That's why I did all of it. Kind of picked up a bow late in life, in late 20s. started getting into that. That turned into an obsession where, just like a lot with racing and competing, it's like I always was looking for that thing to get better and get better at. And then last year, the November Knockdown Challenge rolled around, and I just, like Jonathan said, I wasn't really in the First Form ecosystem. I had heard about First Form supplements, but I hadn't really dove into them, and kind of just saw the competition. I was like, man, this is two things I'm like, I like. It's fitness and it's archery. So I thought that I could carve out a little niche in this. And I was like, man, I could actually be good at this, because a lot of the training we do in NASCAR is very speed and intensive focused. So the workouts that were in the November Knockdown Challenge were very shorter workouts that paid a lot of dividends to, I guess, doing your homework and making accurate shots when they mattered. And I have a lot of practice in performing under pressure with the NASCAR. So I was like, this is just a great opportunity for me to go. And honestly, I didn't do it thinking I could win the whole thing. I kind of did it as just an exposure piece. Like, if I can get into the system or into this ecosystem of First Form and First Form Outdoors, maybe that will help me in the future, grow myself, grow the brand I have, and kind of just develop. Right. And then I won a week, got invited to go compete. And then I showed up and I had a 1 in 10 chance of winning. So I was like, well, I'm just going to give it everything I got for this. And hopefully the cards fall in my favor. And they did. Did enough to win. A lot of great competition. And it was a ton of fun. Like, that was really my first, like, full, I mean, it's kind of like jumping in the deep end of the pool, right? You get invited to go do this. You go out to headquarters. You get to see the massive facility they have, the way they run everything, get to meet a lot of the people behind the scenes. And I was just completely blown away. I thought, in the last podcast we talked about it, I thought, First Form, they're just a supplement company. Figure you go to a warehouse, they're just making supplements. And that was about as far from what I actually discovered when I got there. So that was pretty cool. And yeah, being a part of First Form Outdoors, it was just, I like the message that we have with First Form Outdoors. So that's why it was easy to get on board with it. It was easy to kind of like fall into that ecosystem and become a part of it.
100%. Yeah, it's shocking. I guess there's a shock factor to getting out there and seeing headquarters for people that haven't gone out and seen it. When there's open gym times or things like that, if you're in the local area, I highly recommend that you go and check it out. It is a one-of-a-kind experience. And again, it's not just because, I work with First Form and enjoy the supplements, but it really is a whole nother atmosphere. Everyone in there wants you to succeed and they want to grow as well. And it's really something that not a lot of communities have this, mentality where there's the competition where they're like, I'm going to beat your tail wherever it is that we are, but I'm going to lift you up afterwards and we're going to get better together. Most of the time, it's just, how can I, crabs in a bucket mentality is just the best way to describe it. In a lot of companies that you're maybe trying to work with or work for, and First Form is the opposite of that. There's stiff competition, and they definitely push you to the point where sometimes you puke during the workouts. Or, I know executives that constantly push themselves to the point of that shock on their bodies where they do have to go have a little puke session after the workout. But they don't expect anything of the people in the community that they don't put out as well. And so it was really cool to see you. So Jeff had reached out to me. You were in my Facebook group, I think, and then we kind of talked about archery stuff. He asked me a little bit about First Form, and then I saw you competing in the competition for a November Knockdown. It was awesome to see you go out there and win. Got to represent North Carolina a little bit. I know you're not from there, but we'll say you are.
Been here long enough.
Exactly. But now, so like you said, there's a lot of stiff competition in that. You're still obviously competing. That's the other thing too I want people to realize is, just because you earn that spot doesn't mean that you're guaranteed that spot the next go around. They want to see you continue to live the values of First Form. So I guess kind of from your perspective, what would be two things that you've gathered going from not in the ecosystem, not part of First Form until now, that convinced you that this is the right company to be a part of and that you want to continue this relationship with First Form and First Form Outdoors?
Yeah, so a couple things, like being in NASCAR, like I've been with a lot of teams before, and the best teams that I've been a part of have all pulled the rope in the same direction. We all expect a lot from each other, but we also don't want to let anyone down. So you do a lot to outperform yourself or attempt to outperform yourself to therefore, raise the tide of everyone, and, a high tide raises all ships. So it's one of those same situations where everyone in the company wants to be excellent, and they want everyone else around them, or they expect everyone else around them to be excellent or to strive for excellence. Whether you achieve it or not, the fact that you're going out there and you're striving for it is one of those things that really sets the tone for you and everyone else around you. If I can kind of relate it to something that kind of originally hooked me, was I got into CrossFit in 2013. So I've been doing that for a while, so about a decade. And the original allure to CrossFit was kind of the same thing. It was everyone's going to go out there and give it everything they got. And as soon as they're done, they're turning around and helping the next person, whether put stuff away, cheer them on, help them try to get through a workout. So it's that same mentality that we're all in it together. We're all going to struggle together, whether we get there at the same time or not, but we're all going to help each other get better. So I kind of, when we started get into the first Phorm Outdoors, that was a lot of the same thing. Like, nobody is out there to, everyone wants to beat everyone. That's how competition works, but everyone wants to see everyone else get better and strive for the best, whether when the cards fall, whether they're in their favor or not, they want to see everybody succeed. So I thought that was really cool, because there's a lot of industry and there's a lot of people, at other avenues of, they just kind of, they want to succeed at the cost of you failing, where, first Phorm Outdoors, that's not what we're about. We want to see everyone in the outdoors, whether you hunt, whether you don't hunt, whether you archery hunt, whether you rifle hunt, it doesn't matter. We want to see everybody go out there, have success, and enjoy the outdoors, because that's what the outdoors is for. It's for us to enjoy. So that's what really pulls it in and brings it back to me. It's like, everybody wants everyone to succeed, whether you do or not. That's not it, but it's how everyone holds everyone else to get there.
Exactly. No, I love that. And I think that's, you couldn't have said it better, where, again, there's just that competition, which not everyone's going to relate to or understand per se. But it's the striving to get better with each other. And again, just not putting each other down. When you see someone else getting successful, you don't start tearing them down or looking for character flaws. You want to learn from them, and you want to get better that way. So, that's really cool. Again, guys, I just, this whole week, I've wanted you to see different perspectives, and Jeff is a perfect example of, again, going from, it's another supplement company, to, I want to be a part of this because I believe in the mission, and you got to see it firsthand, and you fought for it. You really did. There was some really stiff competition out there at November. Yeah, there was definitely a lot of stiff competition. There still was this year too. And
year two, the competition got 10x what it was last year. So like, it was awesome to see. Like, there was a lot of really high level athletes in other corners of athletics that came to compete in this, and really, either it showed them like, hey, there's something I need to work on, or B, they really performed and excelled in it. And it was like, it's awesome, because it raises everybody up to want to push harder and want to compete again.
Exactly. Yeah, it was impressive to see actual like CrossFit Games athletes competing. That was one that kind of blew my mind. Like, I knew there was some great competitors that didn't necessarily make it to the professional level, but are still outstanding athletes. And man, there was professional athletes out there. Obviously, again, I'm going to keep harping on this. NASCAR apparently is athletic. For those of you that don't realize that, there's literal NFL stars that could have been in the NFL that are working for NASCAR, like this high level athletic abilities. And so seeing that this year, how, like you said, it just improved. There were some times that it blew my mind, some of the times that it took for some people. Like, I would do one round and these people were done with their workout. Like, I'm like, all right, it is what it is. It's crazy.
There was times last year where I did the workouts, and I've been doing this long enough where I can kind of gauge about how long a workout's going to take, and kind of figure out the max time, or the fastest time you can do it. And then you work your math backwards. So if you think the fastest time is 3 minutes, how fast do you have to go per each round? How fast do you have to do the working out? How fast do you have to shoot your bow? You can reverse engineer it. And I did the same thing this year, and I kind of was like, okay, I think 3:30 is the fastest you can go. And reverse engineer it. And I get somewhere in like the 3:40, 3:38 range. And I'm like, man, I don't think it can get done much faster. And then the workout times come out the following Monday, and there's like a 2:42 on the board. And you're like, I don't know where I
You're
just,
like, where could I have shaved more time?
yeah, where could I have shaved off 40 seconds? Like, I don't know, but it gets done. And that's just a testament to the people that go out there and they competed and they're doing it and they're competing at it. Like, you don't have to do the workout once. The first attempt isn't usually your best attempt. So a lot of people going out there making 2, 3, 4, 5 attempts at it, which is great because that's what we do with pit stops. We don't just show up to the racetrack without practicing. We practice all year long. We do hundreds of stops during the year, during the week, to try to get better for those ones that matter at the end of the year. So it's a lot of prep work that goes into it. And it was great to see people really, even though they thought they had a good time, they're like, I'm going to get 10 seconds better. How can I do that? So pushing the envelope, trying to do that really is going to raise the, first Phorm Outdoors, the November Knockdown Challenge for years to come.
100%. No, I agree with that. It's mind blowing, and it's awesome to see it continue to grow and reach other people. So, with that being said, you're obviously out east, and I understand you picked up a bow later in life, like I did. Adult onset hunters over here, and I'm going to start a club called that or something, something like that. The adult onset hunters. I keep using that term, but that's really what it is. We came across it later in life. When I say later, I mean mid to late 20s, but with you being a whitetail specific hunter, obviously you come out west, you enjoy your elk hunting and pronghorn and everything else, but mainly most of your time is out east. And so a lot of whitetail hunting. Talk to people about why, even if you weren't in NASCAR, because obviously that's important to keep up your nutrition, your athletic abilities, your recovery, all of that. But even if you weren't in NASCAR, why would you choose First Phorm supplements to help with your nutrition? If you're just a typical 9-to-5 whitetail hunter, that kind of lifestyle, why would it be important for you to focus on those things, your nutrition and supplementation?
Well, two things. The first one is you really find out how out of shape or how much better in shape you need to be when you try to drag a deer out of the woods, because they're heavy and it sucks no matter how you do it. So
Especially when you let them die in the river.
Yes, especially when they're dead in a river and there's 10-foot embankments on both sides. Yeah. So when you trying to find a way to be better at that, like not just dragging deer out, but getting more opportunity, being able to sit in the stand and just being healthier. The reason why I got into hunting wasn't because I just wanted to go out and kill things, right? I wanted to put like very nutritious meat on the table for me and my family. And the way to do that for me that I've sought was to go hunting and to harvest that meat myself, go through the whole process, and you have a deeper connection with the food that you're eating when whether you grow it, whether you harvest it yourself. So that's kind of why I got into it, because I wanted highly nutritious meat on my dinner plate. So then I started to get into that, and you get into the fitness part of it. And how does First Phorm and First Phorm Outdoors fall into this? Well, I've taken a lot of supplements from a ton of different companies. And there's really two things that I find that are important to me with supplements. It's quality product and stuff that tastes good, right? Because if it doesn't taste good, we've all had those protein tubs that just don't mix at all. The pre-workout that just tastes terrible, like the multivitamin that's got more filler in it than anything else. So you're looking, what's the best bang for my buck and what actually tastes good? Because if it tastes good, you're going to take it more. If it doesn't taste good at all, you're not going to take it. And I feel like with First Phorm, they have quality product, but they also found a way to make their stuff taste good, mix well, and it's just easily digestible and it's just easy to take. So if it doesn't taste good, man, that's like, it could be the most nutritious thing in the world. And if it tastes terrible, you're not going to eat it or you're not going to drink it. So having things that taste good, also having things that are very dense in nutrients, protein, whatever you're looking for, and having a wide variety of those to kind of fit any palate and fit any, circumstance, whether you want pre-workout with caffeine in it, or you're someone like me who either works out first thing in the morning, I've already had coffee, I don't need more caffeine, or I'm working out in the afternoon or closer to bedtime. So I definitely don't need caffeine to stay up all night. They have options for that.
Yeah, no, for sure. There's definitely a point to it, for people out there that either maybe you conceal carry, maybe you need certain tools on your body at a given time. Maybe you're more medically minded and you're in the idea of your EDC being heavily like tourniquets and medical equipment, but you're always finding ways to make it more efficient to have on you, because if you don't enjoy the way it feels on your body, you're not going to carry it. It's the same with nutrition. And it's the same with just about anything else in life to a certain degree. If it's not convenient, or if it doesn't, in this case, taste good, again, it doesn't matter how nutritious it is. After a certain amount of time, you're going to get sick of drinking those green drinks that's just shredded lettuce and spinach and all the other greens that are in there, no matter how much lime juice you add to it to make it taste better.
Yeah, no.
It's not going to be long lasting. And so it could be the best thing for you. But I would agree that with, I guess, what's your favorite flavor of protein?
Ooh, so I have the Formula One. I'm very basic in the chocolate aspect of it, but I'd say of the protein that I consume the most, it's the level one. I'm either making the ice cream creamies with it, or I'm using it as just a stop in my nutrition to kind of get more protein in throughout the day. Typically, a normal day for me, we go work out in the morning, then we go straight from working out to pit practice. If I consume a protein shake like in between those two, I get really sloshy. It doesn't really matter how much protein or what kind of protein it is. So typically, by the time I'm done and I'm going to consume my shake, it's on my drive home. So for me, the level one kind of just fits a little better. Right now, I'm really stuck on the strawberry milkshake. It tastes great, mixes great. But I really do like the seasonal flavors they have whenever they come out with something seasonal. It's something that you don't get all year long, so you kind of look forward to it. You know, like when the pumpkin spice came out, you're like, I don't get this in May, so I'm gonna get it, and like you kind of get hooked on it for an entire tub, and then next thing you know, December rolls around and it's the peppermint bark, and you're like, all right, let's get that. You know, so it's kind of, I like to mix through them all. There hasn't really been one I'm not a huge fan of. There's ones I probably like a little more than others, but overall, I think whatever the seasonal one, the one that comes out, the newest one, is the one that's like, it has your attention, it has the draw to it. So you're like, let me get that.
Yeah, no, I like that. It's definitely, we've got some interesting flavors for sure. And then we just came out with one that I'm excited to try. I'm not a huge peanut butter guy, but the salted peanut butter sounds good.
I'm gonna get some.
Yeah, that one that's coming out. You know, I would agree with you. Again, the flavors key, along with, of course, the nutrition behind it. So, with that being said, let's go over your top 3 reasons. You've talked about quality, you know, not as many fillers, and the flavor. So I guess, so quality of the products would be one of your top 3 reasons why First Phorm Outdoors. What would your other top two things or reasons why people should look at First Phorm Outdoors, joining the community, as because it's coming out the first week of January, so everyone's on their new year, new me. Everyone wants to get in better shape. So why this community?
So quality of products is definitely up there. Flavor is definitely up there, and then probably the portfolio of products that there are. So there's some things, you know, I've always kind of mixed and matched with other companies trying to get it, and then you never know like what you're going to get with other companies. Some are better than others, but some mix better than others. But so for me, like one of the ones I use the most on the daily basis besides the multivitamin is the collagen. Mix it every day in my coffee. Now, I've had other collagens at other places. They don't mix well, or they kind of have a funny aftertaste to them. So having the convenience to be able to go to a place where I'm going to get my pre-workout, I'm going to get my multivitamin, I'm going to get my collagen, I'm going to get anything that I need, or even specialty supplements. They have them all on the website, and you can order them. If you're ordering them regularly on the monthly, you get a discount. You sign up for the subscription. So there you can save a little money if you know you're going to be consuming something like a multivitamin every day. Sign up, get it every 30 days. It gets delivered to you, and you're going to save a little money on top of it. So the convenience of just being able to go one place to get all your stuff, even your protein sticks and your protein bars, just having that one place to get it, it's pretty awesome. Plus, shipping's pretty quick.
No, exactly. It's they definitely take really good care of you, and of course the portfolio of products is outstanding. You know, and the other thing too that you know, I was talking with Jake about this, and I didn't realize it, but it makes sense. Sal, the president of the company, put together the stack. There's a prenatal stack, basically. He put it together because his wife was pregnant with their youngest at the time, and he was like, how can I basically make this kid as good as possible while he's still in the womb?
Super
and he
freak.
put all exactly. And it's cool because they actually take the time, they use the products, and they talk about them, the education behind it, and then of course the portfolio of options. and flavors. I mean, it's crazy. So I guess what I would recommend to people, and just kind of hitting on that as well, is the 110% money back guarantee. So if you're on the fence, and that's why we don't really do a lot of, unless you're at an event, we don't really do samples where we send out samples. But the 110% money back guarantee keeps you, I guess, takes away the worry or concern of not liking something that maybe you're ordering online. There's not a ton of storefronts that offer the First Phorm products right now, but ordering it online, you don't just get all your money back. You get 10% on top of that. If you don't even just like the flavor, it's not even that it has to mix bad or whatever happens that you don't like. It could even be, I simply don't like the flavor. If you order something, I challenge you to reach out to customer service and see how fast their response time is as well. It blows my mind. It reminds me of like the old Roadrunner commercials. I don't know if you remember that, but like,
Yeah, I'm old enough.
Yeah, right. Back when Roadrunner was the cool internet to have, and it was just super lightning fast. Like the customer service agents are above and beyond. There's even times where I'll get a response back on a Sunday because I sent an email in on Saturday or whatever, expecting it back on Monday.
Got a response at 9 o'clock before, expecting it the next day, and it comes back that night.
Exactly. And I'm like, dude, go home. Like, answer me on Monday. It's okay.
Yeah.
But they're actual real people. They want you to be taken care of. So if there's anything that you don't like or you're concerned about or whatever, you can reach out to customer support as well. And I think there's even a joke that someone called once and asked what the best spark plugs for a certain Dodge truck would be.
Oh no.
And they actually looked it up and got them a response on the phone. People will call First Phorm and ask, what's the best pizza in St. Louis? They'll give them a list of options. Like, the customer support is, yeah, right. It's ridiculous, but it's, I mean, it is what it is. So with that being said, Jeff, do you have anything else that you want to, I guess, recommend to people, and then of course plug where they can find you so they can reach out to you and ask you any questions that they may have?
If you have any more interest in First Phorm Outdoors, I don't know if, John, you've talked about this in your other podcasts, but there's always that Facebook group, the First Phorm Outdoors Facebook group. That is a great place to get any of the information that you're looking for, future November knockdown challenges, any of the events that we're going to be at, whether it's a total archery challenge or, some of the other trade shows. If you're going to be at any of those and you want to know if we're going to be there or not, First Phorm Outdoors Facebook group is the place to be. It's also just a good online community with just a ton of people, that all are like-minded, going for the same thing. So it's a great place to be in. I'm in there. You're in there. So come check us out. You can find me on Instagram at Jeff Cordero _. I also have a YouTube channel, which if you're curious to see how the November Knockdown finals went last year, you can check it out on my YouTube page. And that's just Jeff Cordero on YouTube. So go check it out. And if you're interested, you can see what you're in for.
Perfect. Awesome. I appreciate that, man. Guys, I'm going to leave the links down below where you can get in on that Facebook group. You can check out Jeff's content, what he's got going on. He does, if you love bows, you like tinkering, definitely go check that out as well. He doesn't hold punches, especially with even bows that he likes. He'll throw some punches out there that he gets responses on from the companies, and they make some changes for him. So,
I just speak it how it is.
Exactly. He's not bought, basically, is what I'm getting at. So if you want a good opinion on anything from First Phorm to archery, definitely go check out Jeff's pages. I'll leave them down below. And we'd love to see you guys in the Facebook group over on Facebook, the First Phorm Outdoors group. So that being said, thanks so much for your time, Jeff. And guys, as I always say, get out, live your life, and love it.